mid-August here in central North Carolina. And for those of you that do fall and winter planting, now is also decision-making time. Let's go through our garden, show you what's thriving, what's surviving, and what's dying, because we need to make room for those fall and winter crops.
Some of our tomatoes are still thriving, like these cherry tomatoes here. The green foliage still looks really good, but there's a little bit of disease on here, so we still need to keep cleaning those up. But for the most part, these cherry tomatoes are going to stay. We started a few Silet's tomatoes in July in hopes for a late season crop for these slicers, but I'm not sure how these are going to do. We'll keep an eye on these to see whether or not they produce before the end of the season. We had a few tomatoes that we were keeping an eye on, but they are no longer producing. It's time to pull these plants, clean up this bed for the fall garden. We need to amend the soil and update the drip irrigation.
Now, when it comes to our squashes, same thing. We've got thriving, we got surviving, and we got dying. These rampicantes here, they're doing absolutely fantastic. They're staying, they're still producing for us very well. So all of this, that's gonna stay. Now, as far as surviving, this butternut here, it's got some pole beans mixed in with it, but it's surviving. It's still flowering for us. In fact, right in here, I still got some fruit that just started. I'm just gonna keep my eye on it. It's not in the way of anything, it stays. So as far as dying to clean out the bed, Pantheon zucchini, it's gotta go. And then I've got the one vine off of the rapicante. Its time has come to an end. I'm gonna just cut that back and let the healthy survive. Doing all of that is going to allow me to prep this bed for fall garden.
Now let's talk about peppers. The peppers love this August heat, especially our hot peppers. They are just thriving. We are getting steady fruit and a lot of production.
Now there's some decisions out there that are harder to make than others. Like for example, these pepper plants that we have out here, some of them, they're still producing, they're still got some flowering, but the production level is minimal, almost non-existent. So what we want to do is get rid of these because the preference is to have a higher yielding harvest. So I need to make this space for our fall and winter plants, and we have to just, unfortunately, say goodbye to a couple of these pepper plants. So I got just some easy ones to get rid of here. Here's a pretty much non-producing pepper plant. Sure, I got one right there, but there's nothing else going on here. And even behind us here, see, flowers, but minimal to non-existence on production. So my goal, get rid of this, get ready to replace it with things like broccoli so I can have those harvests here soon enough. In this bed, I'm going to let things be for right now. They're doing okay, nothing great. I'm just going to watch it. You can see I got the banana peppers here. I got red impact up here, still giving me some. And then I got a canary right here that's got a few on it. I'll monitor it for a little while here. If I need to get rid of them, unfortunately, that's what I'm going to have to do. But I've got the space right now in other areas. These guys can stay. Now, when it comes to our eggplants, they do fantastic in this heat and humidity. And this plant here, bunch of blooms, still doing well, still producing for us. This guy's going to stay for right now, but that's not the case everywhere else. This guy here, though, on the other hand, he's just not producing. He's growing, and I'm getting no production out of him, so he's got to go. So when it comes to our beans, these pole beans, they're just surviving. But I'm going to give these pole beans a little bit longer in hopes that the cool weather is going to come and start giving us better production. Now these yard-long beans, on the other hand, they love the heat and humidity, and so while the plant doesn't look that great, it's still giving us a high yield of beans. These pinto beans, they're starting to fade away, so I'm just going to let these go, let them dry out a little bit here on the vine so I can harvest them, but they're going to be gone probably here within the next week or two. Now, something that's also doing real well for us right now, kind of experimentation for us, first time we're growing corn in raised bed. This is a dwarf variety of corn. It's already starting just after, 5 weeks, it's tasseling. So hopefully we'll get ourselves some corn. You can see back here and through here, hopefully we'll get some good pollination going on, and this will be a success. But this bed, I amended it probably, about 6 weeks ago. Also put in some new watering here. This is really making a good difference. Hopefully we'll get some good corn out of it. Now this okra here, it's going to stay. It absolutely loves the heat and humidity. It keeps giving and giving. This stuff, as you can see, we got flowers. I've just cut back a bunch of okra off of it. When it comes time to amend this bed, this okra really doesn't get in the way. I can work around this. This plant will stay. Potatoes here, This is our second round. Hopes that these will grow. I can harvest them before our first frost, which is supposed to occur somewhere around mid-November. When it comes to our herbs, same situation. Here's what's thriving. Basil throughout the garden, doing absolutely fantastic. Parsley in this area, that stays, it's doing well. And the thyme, he's always just going to stay. That's a perennial, it'll come back year after year. What's got to go? Some of our cilantro and parsley. It's done its time. No more need to have it here. This I'll pull out. Another thing, honestly, we can even talk about some of our greens. This is a Swiss chard, still producing, but not that great. But I do have some other things. Curly kale, it's one of my favorites here, but it's just surviving. In fact, it's got pest damage. You can see right there. We need to get rid of this guy here. We're starting a whole bunch of new ones indoors. This Russian kale, it's done. Pests got to it. Time to cut it, replace it. Another thing that we've got going on is the citrus. It's doing real well. I've got this lemon tree right here. He's doing good. We got the lime. I only have 2 limes left. Unfortunately, the dog knocked off a couple. It's doing fine. Has some nice new growth on it. And then over here, kumquat. It's still flowering for us. This is typically when we get the flowering. It's also got a bunch of fruit that it's setting. That's probably one of the easiest citrus that we grow. And then over here, finally, I've got my first caracara here. Sure, I'd love a plant loaded with them, but this is the first year that I even have any fruit, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. A transplanted Bear's lime over here. It's taken very well in this space, showing new growth. So those are just things that always keep me busy year round, and that's the joy that I got when I got to get rid of some of the other dead stuff. Now, I'm not even getting into today all of the things that we've got in the ground that are doing fantastic and keeping me plenty busy. Like I've got these watermelon here. I've got the sweet potatoes down there. We've got peanuts. We've got the elderberry. We've got the figs. We've got the cantaloupe. We still have the Seminole pumpkins and the New England pie pumpkins to keep us plenty. So there is a lot going on in this backyard garden. So me making some of these sacrifices is just allowing for that proper rotation so we can prepare for that fall and winter garden.
So as Keith mentioned, out in the garden, we have a lot of plants that we're starting indoors. If you want to see a whole list of these plants that we have going on indoors, check out our last video. It goes through each one of these plants that we have so you get an idea of what we're starting for our fall and winter garden.
So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please put them down in the comments section below, and we'll see you on the next video.